Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Today I'm making the Rise coffee again. I'm not sponsored. I bought this on my own dime and I'm really liking it. It's mushroom chicory, caffeine free, and it's very good. And it's also rather expensive, but because I'm having stomach issues, I figured I would invest the money because it's supposed to help your digestion. So yesterday in the mail I got the probiotic creamer, also from Rise. I've never tried it before. This is also with mushrooms, and it has 1 billion CFU per serving, and it's vegan, and it has functional mushrooms. So anyway, I thought I would give it a try. It's got 35 calories per tablespoon. So in my cup, I already have the Rise beverage and also the creamer. It says to put it in the cup first so that it can melt. And it's made with, it's a coconut creamer. It's made with coconut milk and coconut oil. Nothing too bad in here. But anyway, I thought I would give it a try and see if that would be good. So you mix it with 8 ounces of water, but I have 10 ounces because I like a bigger cup of coffee than 8 ounces. So you just put a little bit more in. So today's high is supposed to be 43. And it's rainy and gloomy again. Next week it's supposed to get a little nicer, so I'm hoping that's true. But we'll see. But it's supposed to go up into the lower 60s. So that would be good. I can deal with that. I could even maybe go out and do a little bit of garden cleanup, but next week I have a couple of appointments. I have to go back and pick up my taxes because the ARP computer, tax people computer, broke down and they couldn't print anything up, so they couldn't go over the taxes with me, or lots of people that were still there. So I have to go back, and Monday, excuse me, I finally have my doctor's appointment to check out what's going on with this stomach of mine. So we'll see. I imagine they'll probably order an endoscopy or something along those lines, which is fine. I've had them before, and they're no big deal. Well, this doesn't look like it's enough creamer for me, but and it does take a little bit of stirring to get it to melt in the coffee. Now, I don't have any sweetener in here, so I'm not having high hopes, but anyway, cheers. It's fine. It doesn't hold a candle to my other creamer, my not so good for you creamer. So I'm going to add some sweetener to this, though. It definitely needs something. And what I'm using is this nectar, and it's honey crystals. I've had this in the pantry for a long time, so I want to use that up. But I think that would be a good thing to have on hand in your stash. But this is getting very old, so I want to use it. And it's not cheap either. I don't even remember where I bought it. It must have been Walmart, because I've had it for, at least a couple of years, if not longer. So anyway, today I'm going to stay home, I think. Not much else going on. I have to clean up my kitchen and my laundry room. I've got some laundry I have to do. I think I want to clean out one shelf of my one of my kitchen cupboards. Let me try this again. Well, that's better. That's better, but I think I would need more than 1 tablespoon of the creamer. So, but, you know, it's a healthy creamer. So I'll play around with it a little bit and see what I can do with it, because I definitely don't want to waste that either, because that's expensive too. So, okay, I will meet you over there at the budget book. All right, here I am back at the budget book. So yesterday I did spend money. I bought those containers on Dollar Tree's website. So that was $21 with tax and everything. Free pickup at the store, so I'll pick those up when they come in. And I had my eye on a book, Garden Alchemy it's called, and it has a lot of formulas for making your own soil, your own bug repellent, all kinds of things along those lines, your own fertilizer from natural things that you have. So I've had my eye on that book for quite a while. It was in my wish list, and it was on sale. So I bought it. It was $10. So yesterday I did spend money, and I always put where I spent it in pencil. So the A is for Amazon, and that's Dollar Tree. So trying to keep it on the low spend, but still getting things that I've wanted, because now that I'm debt-free, I have a little bit more fluid cash. It's not all going to pay off my debt. So I'm getting some things that I've been wanting for quite a while. Nothing super expensive, except I am looking at a new computer, which I've been needing for a long time. I think my computer is probably, it's a laptop, and it's an HP. Got a really good deal on it. It was very inexpensive at Walmart. I think it was regularly $4.99. I got $100 off, so it was $3.99. And I think I've had it around maybe 11 years. So it's really, really slow. I mean, you could go make yourself a cup of coffee and do other things while you're waiting for it to boot up, and it's not totally useless. I can still use it. I need to clean it up, get all the old files off of it, but it's still super slow, and it can't be upgraded anymore. So I need a new computer. And I want to get something that's more lightweight, because this was a 17-inch screen on it, and it's heavy. So to keep it on my lap, it gets too heavy. And the battery doesn't last very long anymore either. You pretty much have to keep it plugged in. So it's not really that portable anymore. So I'm looking at one of these 2-in-1 computers that they have on Costco.com. So I'm thinking about getting one of those. I have an HP, and I think it's called a Levano. I'm comparing specs and where I get the best bang for my buck. So I'm thinking that's the way I want to go. But I thought that I am getting a refund from my taxes. So with a low income, a lot of times you get all your money back from Social Security. So I'm going to use that money to buy a new laptop. That way I won't have to go into debt, and I'll just pay for it. So I think that would be a good way to spend my refund this year. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. Sometimes, you know, it takes me a little bit to actually make up my mind on what I'm going to do. I like to do research on things before I just jump in with both feet. So, and then once I've made up my mind, then that's usually what I end up doing. So, okay, I will be back later. I'm going to see what I can use up today. And maybe I can find a nice positive quote that we can have a nice little conversation about. One thing I'll be using up today is this 2% milk. It has a sell-by date of 4/4, so I need to use that up, so I'll be making some homemade yogurt. And I have a little bit of yogurt left in here. The best by date is 4/24, so I want to use that up before it starts to go bad. And I asked my friend Alexa, I use her all the time for asking questions. I asked her if you can freeze yogurt, and she said you can. So I have lots of yogurt. I bought one. My grandson had bought this milk. I don't buy dairy milk. I usually make some nut milks, but he had gotten some oatmeal he wanted to try, so but he hasn't eaten it, so I want to use those up and make some fresh homemade yogurt. So I'm going to bring this up to a boil, let it cool to about 108 to 110 degrees, add the rest of this yogurt, and then put it on the yogurt setting for about 8 hours, and then I'll have more yogurt. Yogurt's a good thing to have on hand for cooking or making dips. You can make cheese out of it, all kinds of things. Alright, so there's one thing I'm using up. Other thing I'm going to use up are eggshells and banana peels for my garden. I'll probably put those in my I Do composter and make some garden fertilizer out of that. So this is my I Do composter, and I haven't been using it much lately for the winter. I have a bunch of composted things in the garage that I'm mixing up, but I wanted to show you what it looks like after the machine does its thing. And it's pretty easy. You just put your things in there, and then this makes, it grinds it up, it dries it up, and you have things that you can put in the garden. So there we go. Well, good morning. I'm super busy here this morning, just doing things, trying to be frugal and save money. But it's a process. It keeps me busy. So I wanted to go over this inspirational quote of the day. I'm still enjoying my coffee. And I did end up putting a little bit of my oatmeal creamer in it. But I figured I could put the Rise creamer in there for the probiotic and all the good stuff, and then I would use less of the oatmeal creamer. So always trying to come up with something that I can use up. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the quote of the day, and it's by Walt Disney. It says, he said, "Why worry? If you've done the very best you can, worrying won't make it any better." And I thought that was a good quote for especially this year and all the shenanigans that are going on and have gone on. And So I find I'm not a big worrywart. Now my mom, she's a worrywart. She worries about everything. You know, if I leave there, sometimes she'll say, "Oh, well, call me when you get home so I know you're safe." You know, and I know it's a mom thing. But she's always kind of been a little bit of a worrywart. So I'm not a big worrywart. I mean, some things you can't help but worry about, but if they're out of your control, really worrying uses up a ton of energy that is non-productive. So when I start to worry, I don't keep reliving all the terrible scenarios that can go on in the world. I just try and replace that with something pleasant, and that helps me out a lot. So that kind of stops the worry process. I mean, it'll creep back in, and then I'll just think of something else that's pleasant or that can be a better outcome. And that's what I like to do. So I don't know, are you a worrywart? Leave me a comment below and let me know. What are some of the things that you worry about? I mean, in this day and age, and with the things going on, it is concerning. But I often also will pray the serenity prayer, and it sort of puts things into perspective as to what I have and what I have not got control over. So I think that was a very good quote from Walt Disney. And there's, you know, all kinds of things that people can find to worry about. Money issues, you know, but is worrying about it going to change your money issues? No. What can you do to change your money issues? If you've done the best you can, then, you know, that's all you can do. So maybe, you know, getting a side gig might help you to worry a little less, or spending a little less, or maybe even volunteering. You know, if you can volunteer at the food bank, sometimes they'll give the workers the extra food, and that might help you out. So there's different things that you can do to make yourself worry a little less, in my opinion. So what are some of the things that you do when you worry? How do you get out of your worried mind? That's a good question. But I can only share what I do and what works for me. But if you leave some suggestions in the comments, I know a lot of you read each other's comments and you comment on each other's comments, so we can all learn together. So today I'm in the use it up mind, and in the clean it up mind, I have a lot of cleaning up to do in my kitchen. I've got a ton of mugs over here. I emptied the dishwasher, and I need to put those away. Just general picking up things and cleaning up things, and I'm going through my refrigerator and trying to save some food, maybe turn it into something else that will still be edible. I know there's some things in there that I need to use up. So I'm making yogurt. I used up my coconut and soy milk, so I eventually need to make some new nut milk. Now I'm going to have plenty of yogurt. That's why I asked the question of, can I freeze it? So, but my freezers are pretty full, so I have to be a little bit creative in that process. So, staying home today, unless something unforeseen comes up that I need to take care of. But that's what I'm going to do today, and look around my house and see what else I can use up for what I need. But most of the things that I use up are for food. So I think the composter, I'm going to let that go for now, and I think I'm going to feed my worms. Yes, I still have my worms. I put them in the garage over the winter. I just didn't want them in my bathtub anymore. They were making a mess. So they've been living out there, and I'm kind of surprised. I put a blanket over their bin, and that must have worked because when I looked, there were still worms in there, and there's a lot of worm castings in that composter. So I've tried all kinds of different ways to compost. I have my I-Do that's works pretty well. The thing with that is you have to cut your food or your food scraps in small pieces, and you can't put anything stringy in there because it gets jammed up then. So that's one of the negatives of it, but the compost, it isn't really compost. It's more like a fertilizer. It's a dried whatever you put in there. And that's good for the garden because it's already kind of broken down, and, you know, all the bacteria, good bacteria and things on there will help feed your garden plants. It'll loosen up the soil. So I tried bokashi. I may try it again in the future. I found that to be kind of cumbersome. And, you know, when the weather gets nicer, I have my big tumbler composter in the backyard that I just dump a lot of things in. Well, bless you. Uh-oh. He's got a reverse sneeze going on there. So I have lots of ideas in my head today of things that I want to do, but I'm going to feed my scraps to the worms. You can give them eggshells, and they like it too. If sometimes I've even blended food scraps and put it in there because it's already kind of broken down then, and they like that. So my son was supposed to get the worms, but he's not real good on picking up on those things. He's busy. He works afternoon shift, so he's kind of working when everybody else is off. So he doesn't get out here much. And usually when we have a gathering, it doesn't work out either. So, oh well, anyway, I'll keep feeding them, and then I'll use the worm castings in my garden. But, so that's how I usually take care of scraps. I like to reuse things like that. And I've even taken scraps and frozen them in the past, and then thawed them, and then fed them to the worms. So, you know, if you're a gardener, you might want to think about worm composting. It's a good, very, very good fertilizer, especially if you're into organic gardening. So I'm excited about the book I ordered, and it's not going to be coming until, I think, Sunday or Monday. You know, it used to be Amazon, you ordered something, and then within a day or two, it was there. And now it's like, well, it takes way more time to get your stuff. So anyway, I'm going to go finish making my yogurt. I was real happy that you could freeze it. And I won't waste it. So, okay, I will be back. This morning, I'm emptying one of my pantry cupboards. It's not really, well, it is the pantry, but I store kitchen things in there. So I'm just doing one shelf today because I have a lot of glass jars, and I want to get rid of some of them. I don't need so many. So I've got those going on there. And this is the shelf I'm trying to organize. I've got a lot of bowls. I really like the plastic bowls the best because they're lightweight. This one has a lid, And I like to use that one when I'm rising bread. But I've got a lot of bowls. I've gotten rid of a ton of bowls already, and these are the ones I've kept. So, but I think I could still downsize the bowls somewhat. I always end up mostly using these, but sometimes you need a heavier weight bowl, which is what these are. And these kind of go with my kitchen, and they have a lid, and they're nesting. So I really have to look over some of this stuff and see if I can't donate something. So, all right, that's another project I'm doing today. Well, I got everything in here. I still have some room for some of my mason jars. I have some things already stored in some mason jars, so this is all accessible to the bowls I use, my measuring cups. The bowls I didn't use very often are in the back, and all I have to do is move this to get back there. And these are all the glass jars now in one place instead of all over here. And I just kept some of the reusable glass jars in different sizes. So I think that's plenty of glass jars. So I'm done with that shelf. Tomorrow maybe I'll do another shelf. We'll see how it goes. Here's something else I want to do something with. I have this naan bread that I really dried out too much. I was going to make naan pizza, but it's really, really dry, so I'm going to make breadcrumbs out of that. And I have this ultimate chopper that I've had for years, many, many years. And I hardly ever use it. I can't even tell you the last time I used it. So I want to start using it to chop up little bits of this and that. And here I have some no salt seasoned breadcrumbs that from before. So I'll put a little bit of Italian seasoning in with these. I'm going to chop these up and make some more breadcrumbs to add to that. So using up some more of the things that I have, trying not to waste food, and stretch out my food dollars. This thing works great. I don't know why I don't use it, so I'm going to start using it again. It did a really good job on the breadcrumbs, and I didn't think it was going to be able to chop them because this bread, this naan bread, is really, really hard. But it did a great job. So, using it up, ultimate chopper. And this has a whole bunch of accessories that go with it. So this may become my new favorite thing. Well, in the kitchen anyway. Well, I looked on Amazon, and I don't even think they make this thing anymore. I bet I've had this for 25 years. And it came with all kinds of accessories, a blender top, a juicer, all kinds of different things. So Amazon doesn't carry it, but I definitely like this thing. It works really super great. Thumbs up from me. Oh dear, we have little tiny pieces of hail coming down. Yuck. Well, today was a busy day. I'm just going to have some nice warm tea. It's pretty chilly out there today. So anyway, I feel like I got some things accomplished. And now I'm going to relax a little bit, finish my tea. Cheers. And call it good. So, all right, my friends, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Don't forget to share, and thanks for watching.